tell us about your relationship with your suppliers. How do you see that with in the context of your development and how you move forward? How do you evolve with your suppliers?
We have some transactional relationships, with the companies that do basic chemicals and stuff. But then like LGC and others, where it's a much more interactive program where we're developing things, working on new methods to detect stuff or to build novel compounds.
If you're talking about pens and pencils, I'm looking for a transactional relationship because that's not very strategic to what we're doing. Whereas when you talk about oligos and these type of components that go into our product that we sell to customer and we really rely on their capabilities, there we really look to develop partnership relationships with those types of suppliers.
We're not just purchasing a service or a good from LGC, from my perspective. A lot of what we do is we will hand over information to LGC, and LGC will take that and enable that in terms of a breeding tool or a genomics tool. And that often requires some back and forth. So not only is there some trust in terms of providing some intellectual property to you all to take and develop into a tool, but it often doesn't work on the first go round. And so there is some back and forth. It really does require a true partnership where folks from the Rapid team are interacting with folks from my team to figure out how to fine tune this tool that we're building together.
We need an open way of communication, quite a good response time that when there's something wrong or we have some comments or that you're reachable. And I think the customer is always right.
For me, it's not just having this transactional, the right product, right fit, which is, obviously the prime part of it, but it's the relationship part that is important to me. It has been for a lot of my supply chain career. I like getting to know the vendors and my suppliers and understanding what drives them, where they're going, where they can't go.
What's the key? When you look at relationships you've had, partnerships you've had, what's the key to a really good partnership with your suppliers?
Great question. Yeah, for me, a lot of it is, again, that communication, that ability to be able to talk, having the different groups be able to listen, open to ideas, not let setbacks get to be, a major deterrent to what people are doing, not let frustration kick in. Things can get frustrating at times if things aren't working or if the teams aren't quite connecting on, we had a problem, how do we solve that problem? If it's a repeat problem, again, how do we get past that? We found that, with LGC, we've had some frustrating parts and pieces of working through some problems, but in the end, the teams are still working through it.
I think it's really communication is key. Things never go exactly as planned. And so being able to have open lines of communication is essential, I think, to these projects working well. And also just being able to partner with you all and kind of seeing the big picture. Of course, we think that we're a leader in berries, but we look at LGC and see a leader in genomic technology.
I would say the first most important thing is trust. I would say there, it's essential that we can have a supplier that we can trust who will deliver the products, will deliver high quality, can meet the services and standards that we expect from them. Communication, extremely important. If you don't have good communication, it's very difficult to work with suppliers. Responsiveness. We need someone who can actually communicate and provide us feedback on what we need when we need it in a timely manner.
Trust comes after a couple of years of partnership. I think it's a result of partnership and an open communication. And at the moment, our partnership is quite good. Of course, there can be some improvements.
The collaborative part of being able to be open to work together, take suggestions, develop stuff, not be deterred by setbacks. And then the willingness and openness to be able to visit, come on site, have you guys come on site, just have that partnership, that ease of conversation and talking and working through problems.
Are you saying that there's direct scientist to scientist conversations? Is that one of the elements of the partnership?
We just sort of let the scientists connect directly and enable them to do that. That's when the quickest progress is made, because some of this work is pretty technical, and we've got, I think, a pretty deep understanding of berries, but of course the LGC scientists have a very deep understanding of your technology, and bringing those two together, that's when you get real progress.
If they have experience or related experience and they have a different way of starting a compound or working on something or testing on something, yeah, we do listen and evaluate that. And then if it's the right fit, definitely work that into what we're doing.
We rely on our partners to bring innovation to the table. We look at them as being a gateway to, they are experts in their field, and we rely on them to bring that expertise to us and to help our product development by learning from them and using what they see as the key innovations in their field.
We are definitely looking far and wide to partners like LGC to help us understand what's happening in corn and soy and what's happening in vegetables, so that we can take those learnings and apply them to berries. That, for us, is really what my team is all about, is trying to bring new technologies, new breeding technologies to berries, and ideally leveraging our size to stay ahead of our competition.
I like to make sure that we have the right people talking to the right people. It is not my intent to become a glorified postbox. I would like to make sure that quality talks to quality, technical talks to technical, that the right discussions are happening at the right level with the right people, and that we do not stifle that collaboration, that we encourage and nurture and develop that, because it's only through that dialogue that we can allow for better innovation, better product, better time to market. It's only a plus